Hello and welcome to Third Power Life. Today I am talking about your bucket list and your limiting beliefs. Listen in.
So, the big question is this: how are successful professionals like us going to keep increasing our business success and yet still have a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Dan Gentry, and welcome to Third Power Life Podcast.
All right. A lot of times when I am doing my masterminds and workshops and all of that kind of stuff, I like to have little kind of warm-up exercises, get people interacting. And one of my favorites to use is what items are on your bucket list, right? You know the list of things that you really want to do before you kick the bucket, before you die. And, it's just kind of a fun, what are some outrageous things that we would like to achieve in our life that, that are cool, right? And I use it for a couple of different reasons. One is to get us, thinking a little bit bigger than our current situation and where we are. What are some things that would just make life amazing, right? Have that juice of life, right? And just get people dreaming again. So many times we stop dreaming, we stop having these grand ideas and just kind of settle for what we have, right? And a lot of times what I've done is later on in the program, I usually have some kind of psychology pieces of what the psychology of achievement. And one of the big things that we do to each other, or do to ourselves rather, is we have these limiting beliefs, right? And we look at things like that are on our bucket list. And I ask people, look at your bucket list, right? Why haven't you done some of these things already, right? You look at, on my bucket list, I've got, get my pilot's license and have my own plane, right? That's something, I want to have my own pilot's license. I want to go skydiving. That's another one on my bucket list. I want to travel and set foot on all 7 continents. That's on my bucket list, right? And, it's like, this really cool. But why aren't we doing it? Why don't we achieve those things? Why are we waiting until we die, right? And it's usually because of limiting beliefs. Now, I want to tell you a couple of stories about an elephant and some monkeys. And I actually got this story from my good friend, Ryan Lilly, who is starting up his own podcast. Be on the lookout for that. It's Fear into Purpose, I believe. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to be fantastic. He tells this story much better than I do, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we all know that elephants are these huge, really strong creatures. And there was a little boy that went into a circus one day, and he was looking at the elephants, and there's this huge elephant. I mean, they can carry 9,000 kilograms, like almost 10 almost 10 tons that an elephant can carry. And this little boy was looking over, and here's this elephant, and it has this little tiny chain wrapped around his leg, and just a little stake hammered into the dirt. And he's like, he asked the guy, well, how on earth can that little tiny chain hold this giant elephant, right? And the guy goes, well, what happens is when elephants are young and they're born, we have to have a huge chain to put around their foot. And they will pull and fight and constantly be trying to pull that out. You've got to have a big stake driven way down into the ground when they're little. But after a short amount of time, they come to find out that pulling on that chain is just futile. There's no way they're ever going to break that chain and get free. And after that point, we never have to use a big chain again. That little tiny chain that you're looking at, they feel it around their ankle, and they know from their earlier thing that there's no way they could possibly break that chain. So we don't have to worry about it. We can just use a little one. Crazy, right? It was their limiting belief. If the elephant wanted to, it could easily just walk away, pull that thing right out of the ground. But because it had that when it was a kid, it couldn't. That's its belief. That's its limiting belief. And another one of my favorites is the monkeys, the elephant and the monkeys, right? There was some researchers, I don't know all the details of it, but they had 5 monkeys in a cage. And they put a ladder up and had bananas on top of the ladder. And any time that one of the monkeys would climb up the ladder to grab the yummy bananas, the scientists would spray all the monkeys, the 4 monkeys on the floor, with really cold water. And they didn't like that at all, right? And so after a while, the monkeys realized when one of them went up there to get the bananas, they would get sprayed with water. So they would pull them down. No, don't do it, right? And after a relatively short amount of time, the monkeys stopped trying to climb the ladder. They knew that if they went up there, they were going to get sprayed with water. Can't have that happen. Interesting thing. The scientists started trading out monkeys. So they would take one out and put in a new one. Well, that new monkey he'd want to go get the banana. So he'd start climbing the ladder, and the other monkeys would pull him down, like beat him. No, you can't do that, right? And so they slowly replaced all of the monkeys. So they replaced all 5 monkeys. The 5 monkeys that were in there had never been sprayed with water, and yet they would not climb the ladder because that's the way it's been done. That's the way it's been done around here. You ever heard that in your department? In your work? Right? That's just the way we've always done it. Because they had been trained. Their limiting belief was that if I can't climb that ladder. I'm not allowed to climb that ladder. I'm not worthy to climb that ladder. Right? I look a certain way. I can't do that. I'm a certain gender. I can't do that. I don't have a college education. I can't do that. All of these limiting beliefs that we have this list of things, this bucket list that we want. Besides our normal dreams and goals, we want to start a new business. Oh, you can't do that. Why not? I want to start a podcast. You can't do that. Who's going to want to listen to you? Right? There are all of these things that we want something. We want the banana. We want the freedom. But no, I know I can't pull this chain out. It's impossible. I tried it before. And no, I know the social pressure is don't climb the ladder. Don't get that banana. It's bad. How many of our dreams, our goals, our things that we would really like to accomplish in life, service that we would like to give, how many times have we wanted to help and yet, well, no, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Our limiting beliefs. So how do we overcome this? Right? How do we get past our limiting beliefs? And really, it's about awareness. It's putting them out in the light of day. When you shine a light on your limiting beliefs, they tend to poof, like the vampire, just disappear. Poof. The sunlight disintegrates them. So write them down. Get out a piece of paper. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com/tools. And there I've actually got a little worksheet for you. Just, PDF, download it and print it. And list out what are your limiting beliefs. What's something that you really want to achieve? And then write down, why do you think you can't do it? What are your limiting beliefs? What stories are you telling yourself? I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm the wrong gender, I've got too much pigment in my skin, I've got not enough pigment in my skin. I didn't come from a rich background. I'm not eloquent and can speak beautifully on camera. Right? I was not theatrically trained. What's your excuse? What's holding you back? Now, I understand that there are times when there are valid issues. I don't have the money to travel to Antarctica and all 7 continents. Valid. But not permanent. How do you get around that? And that's the next section. So first, limit out. What are all of the limiting beliefs? What are all the things that you think you cannot do, you cannot achieve, you're not enough this, you're too much that? List them out. List them all out. Even the ones that sound crazy. And I guarantee you, as you're writing some of these out, you're going to be like, that's ridiculous. But it's because you haven't tried to pull the stake out of the ground. You haven't gone for the bananas because, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. So write those things down. And then, why are they not real? Why are they, some of them are just plain excuses. They're just, look at them in the light of day and realize that most of these, no, that's not real. Or, okay, that's a valid point, but that's not insurmountable. I don't have the money right now to travel to all 7 continents, right? Or to get my pilot's license right now. But you know what? I can start saving $1 a day. And, in 5 years, boom, right? Or, I can come up with some way to make some extra money. Money is easy, relatively. There are lots of ways to do that. You just have to make it a priority. So how can you get around these? Why are they not valid excuses? Why are they not valid limits? And then the last part, the way that you truly make it happen is massive action. Action is the killer of inertia. And that's what our limiting beliefs are. They're inertia. We don't want to move. We want to stay where we are. Do not leave this, writing these things out without making a plan for at least some small thing. A phone call, writing an idea, starting your podcast ideas, whatever it is. Take action now. You can pause this audio. Do it right now and do something that's going to help you get closer to that bucket list, closer to those dreams, because that's what it's about. That's what life is about. And you have so much potential, more potential than any of us even realize. You just need to overcome the beliefs that are here. That's it. And I know you can do it. So again, you can go to thirdpowerlife.com/tools, and you can take a look at that. And there's the PDF that you can download and fill out. And I really hope you do. And please, I would love to hear how this has helped you. So again, don't limit yourself. Go for that bucket list and live your life to the third power. I'm glad that you enjoyed this podcast. I'd love to hear what you got out of today's episode. So if you could please take a screenshot and share it to social media and tag me at Third Power Performance on both Facebook or Instagram, at Third Power Perf on Twitter. I would love to hear how it's affected you. And I would love it if you would subscribe. You can click the button right there, or to get more episodes, you can look at our featured video right here. And you can also check us out at www.thirdpowerperformance.com.